Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Heat's faith in Jaime Jr. is being tested heading into next season. Jaime Jr. had a strong rookie season before taking a step back in year 2. Now, his future with the Miami Heat is in question. The 2023 first-round pick shooting regressed during a season derailed by injuries, stomach illnesses, and a roster shakeup that left him outside of coach Erik Spoelstra's rotation. Sometimes you need that in your life to get humbled to propel you forward, Jaquez said. Excited for this offseason. After being named to the All-Rookie First Team last season, Jaquez was a candidate to start in his second season. An ankle injury sidelined him for the start of the preseason, and a stomach illness in the first month of the season left him less than 100% physically. Jaquez went from averaging 11.9 points as a rookie to 8.6 in his second year, while his shooting percentages dropped. He spent most of the final month of the season racking up DNP/CDS and averaged just 20.7 minutes per game, down from 28.2. In the end, Jaquez couldn't get on the floor over rookie second-round pick Pelle Larsson in Miami's first-round playoff loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He played fewer than 20 minutes in the first round, all of which came in garbage time of 3 blowout losses. Now the Heat have to wonder whether Jaquez's rookie year was a momentary flash or a true sign of his potential interrupted by a second-year speed bump. Clearly, he has to work on some things, which he will, Spoelstra said. He will work on defending in open space, defending situationally in our system. Outside shooting will be key again. Jaquez's three-point shooting slipped from 32.2% as a rookie to 31.1% despite the work put into his shot behind the scenes. The slippage includes a troubling 26% from the corners, where he shot 32% as a rookie. Jaquez and the Heat know that his outside shot is his greatest swing skill. If he starts making open jumpers consistently, then the rest of his game will flourish, especially as defenses key in on the physical drives that surprised opponents during his rookie season. This season, all of that was in the scouting report. They would crowd the paint a lot more, maybe sometimes send 2 or sag off me on pick and rolls, Jaquez said. When it comes to improving his three-point shooting, Jaquez said it's a lot of repetition, mental work, understanding where I need to put my hand on the ball. Just reps, staying in the gym, living in the gym. Whether Jaquez will get to do that work in Miami remains to be seen. It's no secret that the Heat aim to acquire a star this summer, and Jaquez could end up being included in a trade package if another team believes it can get the most out of him. But if Jaquez is still on the roster in training camp, one of the Heat's top priorities will be to get him back on track after a disappointing second season. Pat Riley's last stand, ranking the Miami Heat's offseason targets. Most teams use the offseason to go fishing, and the Miami Heat are no exception. But unlike those team presidents charting a boat off Islamorada in hopes of securing a cooler full of tuna, Pat Riley hunts orcas, players with all-NBA ceilings or generational upside who could redefine a franchise's trajectory. That being said, there is a reason they call it fishing, not catching. Nobody knows that fact better than Riley, who has failed to land a big fish in recent years. That's the bad news. The good news? The days of watching Damian Lillard and Kevin Durant slip away owing to a lack of assets are over. This offseason, the Heat are armed with a stockpile of trade bait, and after a historically embarrassing first-round playoff sweep at the hands of the Cleveland Cavaliers, they fully intend to use it, with up to 3 tradable first-round picks, a war chest of young talent, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, Kel'el Ware, and $60 million in expiring or non-guaranteed contracts. The Heat are finally in a position to strike. Financially, they're below both luxury tax thresholds, with flexibility and urgency as their twin tailwinds. The offseason window is weeks from achieving its full open position. Here's a look at 5 potential Orca-level acquisitions the Heat could realistically pursue, and how they stack up against one another and mesh with realistic expectations. Why Heat should not pursue Jonathan Kuminga in pivotal offseason. With the Miami Heat's season coming to a close on a sweep to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round of the NBA playoffs, the team now heads into an offseason where improvements are expected to be made. As Heat captain Bam Adebayo teased big changes coming to the team after another disappointing finish, some may point to the rumors surrounding stars Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant, but another name in Jonathan Kuminga could interest the team. There's no doubt Antetokounmpo and Durant would make the team interesting, but the concern remains if Miami can afford them in regards to not just money, but assets. If the Heat strike out on hunting for a big-name star, they could look for other options that give the team talent at a lower price. In comes Kaminga. In Clutch Point's NBA insider Brett Siegel's latest piece, he details how the relationship between the Golden State Warriors and Kaminga could be coming to an end. One of the teams mentioned as a possibility is Miami, which even coveted the 22-year-old during initial trade talks involving Jimmy Butler before the eventual deal at the deadline. The Miami Heat are also known to hold interest in Kaminga, Siegel wrote. When the Warriors and Heat engaged in preliminary Butler trade discussions in December, Miami coveted Kaminga, sources said. Golden State had zero intentions of trading Kaminga for Butler. As a result, those first trade conversations fell apart. Once Miami was willing to salvage any value they could for Butler, a deal was made involving Andrew Wiggins and others at the trade deadline, Siegel continued. As the Heat are coming off a season clouded by the Butler drama, the team is looking for another piece to add to a core that includes the main duo of Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo. Looking at the front office's thinking, they may see a player like Kaminga and are interested in the untapped potential that's present and has been shown in spurts with Golden State. There's no denying how the relationship between the Warriors and Kaminga has been rocky this past few seasons, especially currently as he's unable to find a clear role, especially since the inclusion of Butler. Even head coach Steve Kerr said it himself on 95.7 The Game regarding the Butler and Kaminga combination. I have to read what we need. I have to read who's playing well together, and to be very frank, the Jimmy/JK combination has not been great, and that's the tricky part here, Kerr stated. I'm playing Jimmy 40 minutes a night because he's one of the very best players in the league. And there's a reason we're here and we're the 7th seed, and the reason is Jimmy, and so my job as a coach is to keep the team on a path that I think gives us the best chance to win. And for now, that's why I've been leaning into the lineups that I have. However, if the Heat are looking to contend next season or make some noise, Kuminga very likely doesn't give them what they need. While the Heat had been eyeing Kuminga previously, the one positive would be that the team wouldn't need to give up a whole lot to obtain him. He could be a long-term piece at his age, but the question the Miami front office has to ask itself is if they want to make noise currently or possibly some in the near future. Plus, Kaminga will be a restricted free agent heading into this offseason, meaning that Golden State will initiate a sign-in trade with the Heat if they want to do the deal. Meaning you would give some assets and sign Kaminga to a contract. Is it worth it? At this point, it's hard to tell. Plus, will he fit alongside Herro and Adebayo as the second or third option eventually? As noted in Siegel's piece, Kuminga is more efficient with the ball in his hands, and with the aforementioned two Heat stars, will that change be beneficial? The answer that could be leaning for most people is more on the negative side. With Adebayo saying after the Game 4 55-point loss that he expects a lot of changes because of his understanding how the guy with the silver hair works, which is about Pat Riley, would Kuminga be the result? I don't know, there's going to be a lot of changes this summer, just from my point of view, understanding how the guy with the silver hair works, Adebayo said. So just be prepared for that. It remains to be seen what Miami does, but they are looking to improve after a 37-45 record, which put them 10th in the East. And you fan? What do you think about Jonathan Kumigan's situation? Write to us in the comments.